Hello, everybody. It's Ron and Hope Unfiltered. Real, raw, relevant.
Say it.
How you doing?
What does that mean?
Babe.
What does real, raw, and relevant mean?
We're real.
Touch me.
We tell the truth. You feel the Holy Ghost? We're real. We talk about real life stuff. Sometimes it's raw.
Why are you so dressed up?
Babe, I'm not dressed up. It's a sweater.
That's a holiness sweater, too. They have been the holiness church. That's the holiness sweater.
Like a granny shawl.
Yep. And those are the ones that will lay them on the back of the pew.
Them.
Well, they lay them on the back of the pew. So if you went in the little church and you saw one of them laying on the back of the pew, do not sit there. Yeah, do not sit there.
That's Mama's seat.
That's the church mother's seat, and she will get you. That's like an assigned seat.
That's right.
I just saw your church mother shirt on.
It's so warm, though. Feels so good. So real, raw, relevant. We're trying to reach our generation, reach the people listening to us.
Guys, I'm going to tell you something. I'm excited about today. I really have. We circled this one on our calendar. Anytime I get to speak, there's never a time I'm not excited. Even if I'm tired, I'm going to be excited while I'm speaking because it's an opportunity to affect somebody's life in a positive way. And we got a friend. We got someone who's really become a friend here in the last few months in our life, Eric Olson. I'm going to introduce him in a second. I want you to give me a little bit of latitude to couch this. He is at the top of the food chain in insurance, wealth management, financial advising, that whole world. And don't cut it off. It ought to make more people turn it on. You need to text somebody and whatever and say, man, you got to catch this one. Because let me tell you something. There's two things everybody wants more of and nobody will talk about it: sex and money. Okay? He's like, I didn't come in here for that.
I told you it was real, raw,
There's two
relevant.
things everybody wants more of, but nobody will say it, especially in church.
Right.
Now listen, where the pulpit is silent, the people will struggle.
That's right.
And so I've tried to talk about things that other people won't normally talk about. And the common hate the uncommon. The underachiever hates the overachiever. Good hates great. And
because it's an indictment against you.
I want to tell you that this is one of those podcasts where we're going to take you out of comfort zones and we're going to press in the area of financial prosperity and making sure you secured your future. There's two things I want to talk about. Number one.
Wait a minute. Go back. Making what?
Making sure you secured your future.
Making score or secure my future.
So I'm trying to be serious. I'm trying to be serious.
That was your word for the day, though.
Okay, we're trying to make sure you secure your future.
Thank you.
Okay. I was just telling Eric before we started, I said, during COVID, we're a large church, and we're getting calls left and right from church people, from ministers' families, that as sad and unfortunate it was, there were, people sick, people elderly that were succumbing to COVID. And I was blown away at the number of people that had absolutely no life insurance, nothing for even a funeral.
Right.
And came to the church, and we were stroking $15,000 and $20,000 checks left and right. And it ain't like I have unlimited resources. Right. And I can't even remember off the top of my head how many times. We were funding funerals all over America.
We were.
And as you know, the church wants to be benevolent during that time. Number two, my dad. I used to think, that the people who love Jesus the most end up prospering the most. Well, Mother Teresa, nobody's probably more committed to Jesus than Mother Teresa, and she lived in the cesspool of life. And usually if people are prospering, it's not because God is a respecter of persons. God is a respecter of principles.
You're right.
And there is something that they're doing the other people are not doing.
That's right.
There's something they know that the other people do not know, and you cannot rise in any level, but especially financially, you cannot rise above your level of revelation.
That's right.
You can't rise. You can't live beyond what you know.
That's right.
It's impossible. You can take somebody with a poverty mindset and let them win the lottery, and they will bring the lottery down to poverty.
Yeah, they'll lose it all.
Because you live where your revelation is. My father passed away in 2012. He was 62. He was a hero. One of the most godly men. Hope he walked on water.
He did. Love that man.
My dad died. He died of cancer, and this thing of preparing for our future hit me hard. when my dad didn't even have a home to die in. You and I had to come back here and buy a little house for my dad to literally spend his last days and go meet Jesus. And I left that thing saying,
something's
man, that
wrong
ain't
with
right.
this picture,
Man, a man gave 42 years of his life to missions, to teaching, to development, to marrying and burying and walking people through problems and storms. And he didn't
prepare.
have anything.
He did not prepare for his future.
And I said, you know what? I want to be the guy that stands between two generations and breaks this. So I unashamedly am getting people who are experts in the field at the top of their game. A very accomplished man, Eric Olson. He's coming to our marriage conference a year ago. Yep. We met. After that time, you came in, and I think I'd just say you're a regular at the church now. Yep. We've spent some personal time together as couples, and we've grown fond of one another. But we brought you also into our life, and we think you were an angel sent to help us to begin. I'm 55, to set some things in order. So I just want to give you the platform a minute, without asking you or interviewing any questions, just maybe common mistakes, common misconceptions, or maybe things that people think wrong about money.
Well, first off, it's an honor to be here. Appreciate you guys. You are my pastors. My wife and I love you guys, and
we love y'all.
Yeah, they don't just talk the talk; they walk the walk. Getting to know you guys personally.
Thank you, man.
And it was also a privilege to help you guys with your finances and making sure you guys are set up, because I see a lot of pastors who they give so much, but then they don't get taken care of themselves.
And we've even brought you in because I wanted everybody to have these opportunities. You've been talking to our leadership and our staff. So when I bring you here, it's not just a speaker. I mean, we're putting our money where our mouth is. We're bringing you in, and I'm encouraging people, let this gentleman help you.
And I don't think it's because people are bad, Eric.
Right.
We get our blinders on, we get in our job, our career, we get immersed in it, and we don't think about anything else. We become specialists. We're in ministry. Then you have the chemist. Then you have the plumber. Then you have the nurse. And
you got karate. And you
got your kids
voice
and
lessons.
laundry,
and you got piano lessons. And then there's in survival mode. And so everybody's thinking, I'll take care of one day.
Yeah.
Right, that's right. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think people work hard for their money, so their money should work hard for them.
I like that statement.
Yeah, and a lot of people, they're good at making money, but they're not so good at saving money. So a lot of people, they're saying, I'll save money later, and unfortunately...
Did no one tell you to say that to me?
Not at all. No. Not at all. Well, you guys are getting better at that, so that's good.
Right.
That's good. But, I think you should be saving at least 10% of your monthly income.
That's a good rule of thumb.
Yeah, minimum on short-term basis, and then 10% on a longer-term basis, and then don't forget the 10% to tithe as well.
That's right.
So, about 30% of your money should be put aside, and most people, unfortunately, are not doing that.
Right.
Yep.
So when you say 10% on a short-term basis, 10% on a long-term, explain that.
Yeah, short-term is more liquid money that you have just for
access to.
Emergency fund, and then long-term is more, for retirement.
Okay, so that's what you do too. You help people get that set up.
Right.
So what if somebody's listening and say, I don't have life insurance?
Right.
And if they came to you, what would you say to them?
Right. Well, life insurance is not very sexy, but it is the foundation, right? It is the foundation because you got to protect your family.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they leave liabilities, when they pass away.
Bills.
We want to help them leave a legacy. So, rule of thumb is 10 times your annual income you should have for life insurance. And most people have term, and it's not bad to have term, but that's a temporary insurance plan. And, what we offer is what permanent plan that never expires, because in the Bible says we're supposed to live until age 120.
We're believing
so
for that.
We got to make sure that we are permanently protecting our family. So I believe life insurance is the foundation of all investments.
I think a lot of people think, though, that insurance is not affordable. And that's just not true.
Right, correct.
Everybody can afford
Right.
some life insurance.
Absolutely. Yeah, people have insurance on their house, they have insurance on their cars, they have insurance on their cell phones.
You said that earlier today. It's amazing what we insure and don't insure our life.
That's right.
Don't insure our family, don't insure our legacy. And when you said that, I'm like, well, that's a cutting statement right
really
there.
Is.
That we place value on all these other things, making sure they're taken care of.
Right.
More than more than we do the people that we love and value in this life. I'll try to bring the pastor side of it. You're the businessman. Jesus, for people who think that Jesus, didn't care about these matters, Jesus said you can't put new wine in old wineskins. You can't put new experiences in old habits.
Right. Yeah.
You got to have new habits.
True.
You got to have new habits with your money. Another place, the Bible says he handed out money to one he gave 5, to one he gave 2, to one he gave 1. And it says he came back to see what they had done and how much interest they had earned while he was gone. And I said, in that principle, God is already talking. It's not just about working for money. It's learning how to make money work.
That's right.
And I went to 4 years of seminary Bible college. They don't teach you how to make money work.
Right.
I don't know that finance school teaches you how to make money work. There's this small group of people that are in the know. This is my take on it at age 55. And the people that are in the know usually don't share what they know with the people outside the wall.
Yeah.
And I've always said the next level is designed to keep you out. We got an ad that we're going to do, and we're going to talk about our amazing sponsors. Then I want you to give us some stuff on the other side of the wall.
Sure, absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Well, this is Nutrafol. Guys, don't take the thing if you're watching by YouTube and skim across it. You know why? Because we love our sponsors, and they are the ones that help us do what we do. There's a whole lot more going on in this room than me talking in a mic and sitting here looking at a monitor. It costs to do what we're doing, and these amazing sponsors help us pay these bills. Hair thinning is complicated. Why y'all make me do this one? Hair thinning is complicated, and the problem is it's actually much bigger than just hair alone. Like your skin, hair is a reflection of your health, and internal factors can impact the way your hair looks, feels, and grows. With Nutrafol's hair wellness quiz, you can get your personalized hair health plan today. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement, with over 1 million people seeing thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding. Nutrafol's 3-minute quiz determines which underlying root cause is keeping you from reaching your hair's potential. By analyzing your lifestyle, biology, hair history, as well as environmental triggers, Nutrafol creates a hair health plan that is tailored to your hair's needs. Nutrafol's hair growth supplements are physician formulated using drug-free, high-quality ingredients that are recommended by 4,500 plus doctors and hairstylists nationwide. Purchase online, no subscription or doctor's visit is required. Free shipping and automated deliveries ensure you'll never miss a day. See results in 3 to 6 months. Here's what I want you to do, all right? Start with your hair growth journey by taking Nutrafol's hair wellness quiz and get your personalized hair health plan today. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping at Nutrafol.com/quiz when you enter the promo code RAH, which means Rod and Hope. Take the quiz, get started on reaching your hair wellness goals with Nutrafol today. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com/quiz promo code RAH. That's Nutrafol.com/quiz promo code RAH. Help us out. We love the guys at Nutrafol. I got a bottle of it sitting right beside my sink, and I took it this morning.
Yeah.
And so we don't just talk about them. We actually use these products. I said I want to let him get on the other side of the wall. I really believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that there is an understanding. I used to say a game. I don't know about a game. There's an understanding to making money work. And most of us, if we need more money, we just go out and get another job or we work more hours. But, you know, real wealthy people are usually not getting up every morning going to work.
Yeah.
They're getting up every morning putting their money to work.
That's right.
Talk a little bit about some of those principles that come to mind.
Absolutely. That's a good question. Well, first off, some people say, I don't believe in life insurance. Well, you don't have to believe in it. It's not a religion, right? But you should protect your family. I mean, that's just part of the deal. And in the Bible, it does say a good man passes an inheritance to his children's children, right? And so that's very important. Right. And, there's the 95%, which is the middle America, and then there's the 5%, which is the wealthy America. And the wealthy America, they think differently.
They do.
They really do. The average person, they have a job, they have a 401k and they have term insurance. Well, if you do what everybody else does, you'll get what everybody else gets, unfortunately. So more of the wealthy America, the more of the successful people, they own a business and they have permanent insurance that never expires, and they're saving money, and they have index accounts. And that's a really big thing. I always talk about and educate. We do a lot of financial education.
Talk about index accounts, because that, out of everything you've taught me, that's one of the most interesting things. And I was 55 and had never heard about that.
Right. Yeah. Well, there's 3 different ways to grow your money. There's a fixed account, and fixed account, you're not going to lose any money, but you're not going to really make any money. And then obviously there's inflation, so you're kind of safely going broke nowadays in fixed accounts, right? And then there's the.
So if you're getting 4% and inflation's 7%, you're slowly going broke.
That's right. Mm-hmm. You're losing money. And that's what most people are doing, putting their money in the bank.
Right.
And we always ask people, we say, would you rather put your money in the bank or put your money where the bank puts their money? Right? And then there's variable accounts, and the variable accounts are up and down, like a roller coaster. The 2001 market loss, the 2008 market loss, the COVID market loss. It just happens, and then that's variable. But then there's the hybrid. The hybrid approach is what's called indexed. An index, you get the upside potential of the market without the downside risk. So if the market does 12%, you get 12%. Right. But if the market does negative 12%, you're guaranteed your principal and everything you put in. So it's a powerful concept. We're talking to a lot of people about it, and it's powerful. That's what we did for you guys.
And your company, those are basically where you try to lead people.
Correct.
Is into making those decisions.
Right. We do all 3, but index is by far the most popular and what I recommend. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to ask you this. All right. I'm a good, hard-working American, and I'm doing $65,000, $70,000 a year. I pay religiously into an IRA, and I got benefits. Mm-hmm. But I want to secure a future, and I want to get out of a rut. And I come sit down in your office. What are you going to tell me?
That's a good question. Well, first off, I would say, when's the last time you talked to a financial professional? When's the last time you talked to a financial advisor? Because a lot of people, they just set up something at their job because their friend did or their uncle told them to do it, right? But there's other options. So I would definitely sit down with someone. We sit down with people for free, which is good, and just get another opinion, right? And so what I would recommend, because a lot of people have their 401ks, their 403bs, and their 457s, and those aren't bad accounts, but a lot of people don't know the rules and the regulations and the fees and the stock
it's painful when you started talking about
it. You got to pay the taxes, and people don't know about all these different rules. So there's other accounts out there. It's just tax code. So tax code 401k, and then there's a tax code called 7702A. And it's a tax-free account, and it has to do with life insurance. It's called an Index Universal Life. It's an amazing program. So
if I come to you and I got a 401k, and you looked at it, and let's just say, let me just say, a guy, who's got a plumbing company, and he's sitting there, and he's been working at it 30 years, and let's say he's got $350,000 over the years. He's religiously put for many decades money in there. He's got several $100,000, and you sit in a 401k. You're going to advise him to
You're
look at.
cringing, right?
You're going to advise him. The 7702, is that what you got?
So 7702, that's the tax-free retirement plan.
That was one of the most intriguing things to me, and you talked to my staff about that actually. Correct. Because they have 401ks, we have plans for them, but what you were talking about just seems so much better, and I know you had a lot of people come talking to you about it afterwards. Right. Tell people, what does that look like? How does it function? Yeah. Because if you got a 401k, I can't touch it till I'm 59 and a half. Correct. Get penalized out your ears. Right. But what you're talking about, you have access to tax-free at any time.
So it just depends on, it's case-by-case basis. Obviously, we'd look at someone's situation and see what's best for them. But a lot of times, we see if they're eligible to roll over their 401k into an index account. We call it an FIA, fixed index annuity. So we roll that over. We're able to offer signing bonuses for people to roll their money over. And then if it makes sense, we stop their contribution on the 401k and then start that contribution on their 7702A, their IUL.
I did that.
Yeah. Right. And it worked out good for you.
So if you're saying, as Ron Carpenter putting his money where his mouth is, I just did. I'm bringing you things that have radically changed my financial life because I want you to know.
So if somebody, say our organization, we offer the 401, okay? Right. Why wouldn't we offer the 770?
People never
don't know about it.
People haven't heard about it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, so it's just financial education, just getting the word out there.
It's financial education.
And we ask people, do you want a taxable retirement? Do you want a tax-free retirement? You want to not protect your family? You want to protect your family? You want no guarantees on your money? You want guarantees on your money? It's kind of a no-brainer, but just people don't know about it.
Right.
Well, I've always sensed you as a highly intelligent man. We got some things here, but I'm going to go off script a little bit.
No problem.
One of the things that you talked to me about, as you said, Ron, I want to make you your own bank.
Correct.
I've never heard that concept.
Right.
And it's a shame. I've been around some high powerful people, and I would consider myself blessed. I'm not wealthy, but over the time, we've seen the hand of God and the blessing of God. I've made some dumb decisions. God has rescued and restored us and brought us back out of them. There's a trial and error to everybody, I think. But I guarantee you most of these listeners have not ever heard of becoming your own bank.
Explain
What does that look like?
Yeah, I appreciate the question. And by the way, a lot of pastors, they don't talk about money.
No.
So we appreciate you, getting the word out there. It's important.
Yeah.
So this concept was started way back over 100 plus years ago by the
Rockefellers.
Family. The Rockefellers.
Who've done fairly well financially.
Yeah, they've been
struggling a little bit.
They've been billionaires for 7 generations. And
So they've kept the money in the family.
correct,
Okay.
absolutely. And so they have the concept, become your own bank. It's called infinite banking. So instead of putting your money in the bank, you put your money where the bank puts their money. And that's where this IUL, Index Universal Life, you can do it with whole life, you can do it with IUL, but you're putting money and basically you become your own bank. And you put money in the account, you can take the money out, you can leverage it. Every time you take the money out, you can buy a house, buy a car, do what you want. Yeah, do what you want with the money. And it's been averaging 6 to 12% returns and it's tax-free. And the crazy part about it is if you do it right with alternative loans, you take the money out of the account, you go do something, buy another business, go buy another house, and then the money is still sitting in the account earning interest at 6 to 12%, even though you took the money out of the account. So the money's still sitting in there. And then, it's just powerful.
It messes with your head.
It does.
I'm telling you, I've been doing it for 20 years.
Yes,
It works.
It messes with your head.
Yeah, you bought several homes that way, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna pull on the little heartstrings a little bit right here. You told a story to my staff this morning. I'd not heard.
Right.
Where you were when these opportunities came to you.
Right.
Talk about that a little bit.
That's right. No, yeah, I was playing football at San Jose State.
Right.
I'm from Silicon Valley, San Jose, California, and I was working at the San Jose airport in a little toll booth, right? I'm 6'5".
I was about to say, your big old self in a
big
toll booth.
football player in a toll booth making like $30,000 a year. And then this was presented to me and my entire life changed. And I made a deal with God. I said, God, if you help me become successful, then I'm going to dedicate the rest of my life to helping others become successful. And that's what happened, So I've been blessed, and I want to be a blessing to others and help other people financially. And you mentioned about what would I recommend to people. So that's one on the client side: become your own bank, save money, tax-free retirement. But even more important than that is you got to start a business.
Yeah.
Right? Start a business, get on a 1099. Don't just be on a W-2. The good news is you could do both.
Yeah,
you could do
absolutely.
both. So.
Let me ask you, we got some things here. You and I talked before we came in here, and we swapped some stuff by text to make sure we cover the stuff we want to cover. Why is that important in your estimation? Not just because you're in the business, but why is it important, as a principle, to leave a legacy for your family? Because I've seen families that their ancestors didn't leave them anything but trouble and debt and everything else. Why is it important to leave a legacy for family members that follows long after you're gone?
Yeah, I just believe that's how they can remember you. I have a wife, I have 4 kids. I know you guys have a family, kids and grandkids. I mean, it's important to make sure that what you're doing here on earth will be remembered way after you're gone.
Right.
It's very, very important. So a lot of people, they just leave debt, they leave liabilities when they pass away, and I think that's uncalled for. The fact that you can have legacy and leave legacies to your families, I mean, that's what's very important to me, and most people don't do it, So.
We spend about 70% of our life on the West Coast, about 30% on the East Coast now is the way our life is designed.
Right.
We're actually having this podcast on the East Coast, so you might get a little Southern colloquialism. But I would tell Hope, I say, I wanted to be the generational changer. My mom's family was an agricultural family, and her brothers did good, but they were kind of, they coming out of the Depression would almost take mason jars and bury it in the backyard. They didn't trust any type of investment bank or anything.
Right.
And so they had great potential agriculturally, but they were very conservative in their approach to money. And my dad's side, just a lot of dysfunction and just, you know, when I saw my dad's family, it's amazing he was sane. And so I stood in the middle of that. I said, you know, one night, Hope and I were in a tiny little messed up, broken down house in an awful neighborhood, crime-ridden neighborhood. And we didn't have no heat, and it was cold. And we're sitting there putting 10 blankets over us. And I had a moment. I may help somebody. I had that moment where I said, I got to do something different. And I'm a man's man. It hurt me when I saw a tear come out of my wife's sweat. She would never criticize me as a husband, but provision-wise, I was not making it happen. I could not put oil in a heater in the middle of winter. And so she sat there, wonderful wife, snuggled up next to me, but she wasn't having fun. And I got up out of that bed, I walked out in the cold, and I stood in the front of that messed up house, and I pointed at you, and I said, you can't hold me.
It's powerful.
It was an internal decision. Now, I didn't have everything here that I needed to get out of that neighborhood.
But you knew there was more.
But in here, I'm not going to live this way all my life. I'm just not. And so I wanted to be the one that was the game changer of my family. I tell Hope now, I say, you know, I want my children's children's children to be walking down the hall one day and see my picture and say, I never met him, but I was told he was a bad motor scooter. You know, I heard that guy right there changed everything. I want to be that guy. What are some common mistakes or misconceptions that you see people have or mistakes that they make just on a daily basis with money?
It's a good question. By the way, you are that guy now, just so you know.
Well, I'm trying to be.
When I delivered that.
When you delivered that thing.
plan, that's what I said. The Carpenter last name will be changed forever.
He brought me my insurance plan in a wooden box. I said, now that's a plan right there.
That's right. By the way, would you mind sharing about what you had before, your term, and then expired? I mean, that's a powerful story. Because that's a misconception that most people.
I'll tell you how our paths crossed. I think we would have been friends whether we did business or not. But of course, as our friendship was developing, I knew what business you were in. When Hope and I were 25, we got married. Maybe I was 21 or 22. You're 20?
I was 21. You were
I was getting ready to be 22. Okay.
When we got married.
So 21 and 21 when we got married. It was 4 years before we got any term insurance. I had a term insurance policy literally that I bought that many years ago, and it was a 30-year policy. Well, I'm 55. The policy is over because it's a term.
Yeah.
And so...
And we'd been paying $354 a month.
It's much more difficult at 55 to grab a policy than it is at 25. I wish I would have met him at 25.
It went up to $3,500 a month.
10 times.
10 times.
10 times.
For term.
For term.
Which has no cash value.
Right, correct.
It's just, you know, it's just stuff that actually you're pouring money into that you hope you never use.
Yeah.
Right.
And, you know, if I would have been taking that money the whole time from age 25 for 30 years, we'd be in a whole different spot right now.
Geez.
But I'm glad I got a hold of it when I did. And so we were at a time I had to renew my policy and set my future up. I met with you and I said, here's what I'm thinking. And you looked at me like, Pastor, you need much more than that. I said, I can't afford it. You said, yeah, you can. Let me go to work for you.
Correct.
And so that's when we gathered your services together and you guys produced and brought me a policy that is a game changer for my entire heritage, but was still affordable at the place I'm at in life right now. So I don't know how we segue this into a question, but that's my story of how our paths crossed.
No, you said what are the financial...
mistakes, okay. Would one mistake be term?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just, you know, people say, well, my grandpa, you know, he did a term insurance and a 401k, and they did a little mutual fund and a little job.
It's kind of like the basics.
You know, that's right. And that's what most people do. But the misconception is, oh, I can't afford something different, or, oh, that's probably not real. I mean, the misconception is there's other options out there. And what I always do is look at somebody who's the best and try to learn from them. I've learned so much from you guys on the faith side and the spiritual side, which I really appreciate.
Thank you.
And then obviously you've learned a little bit from me on the financial side, and that's a win-win-win. So, don't get advice from people that you wouldn't change places with.
Ooh.
Simple as that, especially on the financial
side. Say that again.
No.
Say that again.
Do not get financial advice from people that you would not change
That's
places
right.
with.
Now, see, he says it that way. I always say this. I said, you go and talk to your grandmama about marriage. I said, well, how was your grandmama's marriage?
Right.
Make sure that the people you're gathering information from are doing well in that area you're gathering information.
That's right.
But you have a Dave Ramsey who I highly respect. Get term. But he's usually talking to a people who are eyeballs in debt.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're surviving, and they're trying to find a way to get out of 24% credit cards, that they have a mountain of credit cards. So he's basically, do this, and throw your money here and
get your
climb out.
basics, get you a little protection.
And so there
but
may be a
affordable.
place, where that would be advantageous to most people. But if you are in a place to strategically begin to posture for your future, this other way, becoming your own bank, the 7702, and then the whole life policies, you're really doing what the rich people do.
Correct.
Yeah.
The Dave Ramsey way, that's a great starter plan.
Yeah.
It is. It's great for the people who are there.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. But then there's the whole nother side,
I thought it was so interesting today. You showed a slide. If you evaluated somebody's finances, they were able to take $500 a month.
Right, that's it.
Okay, and they could put it over here and do this with it, or take it over here and talk about that. The
Do you have
difference.
that? If you got that to memory, would you just tell us that?
The
absolutely.
difference
This
that
is an
it
example.
produced.
Correct.
Give us an example.
Yeah, that's good. So someone saved $500 a month, and it wouldn't be an extra $500 a month. They could just reallocate where they're putting it right now and put it over here into that 7702A or IUL plan. And then that plan, just at a 6% average rate of return, $500 a month, by the time they're 65 years old, they'd have over $700,000 tax-free in the account. Plus, they'd have $1 million of life insurance, plus $1 million of long-term care and living benefits for health. So it's called the triple threat. If you live too long, you're totally taken care of with a tax-free retirement, tax-free pension. If you die too soon, you got $1 million legacy for your family, tax-free. And God forbid you get sick or hurt or disabled, health issue, you get to spend that $1 million tax-free while you're still living.
Or I could put it in a
Or
401k, and then what?
And then guess what? Then you cut that money in half, because you're going to lose some money in the stock market. You're going to lose some money in federal taxes, state taxes, fees, and then it just disappears. I mean, it's literally cut in half.
Right.
So, yeah.
It's almost kind of retarded.
Hey.
It's a little bit of a no-brainer.
I heard Robert Kiyosaki say this. He said, I want you to listen to the American system. He said, go to school, go to college, rack up 6 figures of debt, go get a job, try to pay off your debt, and then take whatever you can save and gamble.
Wow.
He said, that's the American plan.
Yeah, that's sad. Yeah, people are like hoping they got the money in retirement.
Yeah.
Gamble because the stock market is a big Vegas.
Right, that's right.
Gamble. I don't want to live my whole life rolling the dice.
No.
I want to make sure that there's a secure future. I know we're kind of getting close on our time. I got a couple of more questions.
Sure.
What are the 3 rules of money that you talked to my staff about today?
Absolutely. Well, the first rule is called the Rule of 72, and Albert Einstein invented this rule way back when.
Pretty smart guy.
Very, very smart guy, right? It's about compound interest. So compound interest can work for you or work against you. So people that know these rules, they're actually earning all the interest, and people that don't know these rules, they're paying the interest. So that's number 1 is the Rule of 72, how compound interest can work for you, work against you. You want to get at least 6 to 12% on your money. Most people are getting 1 to 6% on their money. So that's number 1, and that's just the accumulation phase. Make sure you're earning interest on your money. The second rule is how money grows. So there's fixed, variable, and index that we talked about earlier. Even Warren Buffett's talking a lot about index accounts nowadays. So you definitely got to look into index accounts. That's how money grows. And then third is how money gets taxed. So there's tax now, there's tax later, and there's tax advantage, tax exempt. And that's my favorite box, is the tax exempt. So there's a plan out there where you can get 6 to 12%, it's indexed, and you take the money out tax-free. They wrote a book, it's called The Retirement Miracle. About tax-free retirement.
You gave me that book. Yeah, you gave me that book.
That's powerful. It's good stuff, and most people don't know about this.
Yeah.
But just because you don't know about it doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
That's
it actually
right.
exists. We're helping like 5,000-6,000 clients a month with this stuff right now.
And Eric, the title of this podcast is Good to Great, because I believe God wants us to be great.
Yes.
I do too.
In every area of our life, not just in our marriage, not just in our spiritual life. He wants us to be great.
The Bible says that we are the seed of Abraham and his blessing falls on us. What was God's blessing to Abraham that Christ makes available to us? I'm going to make you great. Mm-hmm. I'm going to make your name great. I'm going to bless you, and I'm going to bless you so much that the whole earth will be blessed through you. Now, the Bible says in Galatians that we are the seed of Abraham, and that blessing travels 4,000 years and falls on me. What was the blessing? Greatness.
Greatness. He wants us to be great. And you have worked really hard. It wasn't pie in the sky, was it?
You grind.
Not at all.
No, it didn't happen overnight.
Correct.
No, but you have been consistent, and you have come out of that little toll booth.
Right. That's
right?
It. Yep.
Took a step of faith, started in this business, worked really hard, built a multi-million-dollar business.
Correct.
But what did you just do? You didn't just stop there.
Yeah.
Because that was good. That was a good life.
It was good.
Right.
Good life.
Actually, that was great.
I've seen your life. It was a good life.
That's right. Well, the enemy of great is good.
Yeah.
So I just made a big decision recently. We did a couple $100 million in production last year in my former company, and my wife and I took a big leap of faith, and we just started our own company and went from good to great. And then I gave up $1 million a month income. But I really wanted the best for my people. A lot of people call me the millionaire maker because my number one goal is to help my clients and business partners become millionaires. And that's true. So we opened up a new company called Global Financial Impact, and we're about to do something huge.
Yes.
And I had to give up good to get great.
So,
but hey, I'm excited about
level
it. I'm excited
than
about
the
it.
toll booth.
Absolutely.
Another level.
Just a little bit.
But it's the same principles.
Right.
Right?
That's right. Yep.
Yeah,
Pastor Ron told me a story how he gave up good to get great as well. And I said, let's go do it. Let's go make it happen. I'm super excited about it, by the way.
As long as we have a breath in us, as long as we have a pulse, we have a purpose.
That's right.
So we should always be stretching. We should always be learning. We should always be growing. And I appreciate you.
I want to say something before I forget it straight to them, though. There is this sometime mindset among this chasm that America calls the middle class, that even as you're sitting here listening now, I can feel it. That belongs to them. Mm. That's a lie.
Yeah.
We're bringing it.
That's right.
God brought it to me. We're bringing it to you. This type of prosperity, godly prosperity, with a pure heart, with great intentions to better your life and to better the life of people that you care about. These are noble things. These are not greedy things. And those things are available, but it comes with being exposed to the right information and having the right people handling that part of your life, because school does not teach you that. Most families just do what dad and granddad did.
Right.
And I had to many times to go to the next level, get out of my comfort zone, hear things I've never heard, and pay attention to voices that I've never paid attention to. I'm gonna do this. I told you at the last minute, if people say, you know what, that guy sounds like he knows what he's talking about, and we believe in Pastor, I don't know him, but I know Pastor Ron and Hope, and we don't even bring many guests on here really on our podcast. So we really are so excited about you helping open up our eyes to the possibilities and helping us. So if somebody's heard this today and they say, you know what, how can I get a hold of you and your company, and how can you help us? Just take a minute and promote you and what you do and how they can find you.
I appreciate that. I just wanted to help people today, and anything we can do to help you go from good to great in your finances or as a business partner, we'd love to talk to you about it. But my wife and I just started a company called GFI, Global Financial Impact. We also like to say GFI stands for God-Favored Individuals, which is pretty awesome because we're a company of faith, and it worked out pretty good for Chick-fil-A being a company of faith, right?
Yeah, they're doing all right.
Yeah, that's right. So we're doing the same thing, but a lot of people call me coach because I used to play football football, coach football, and now I'm a success coach and business coach. So CoachEricOlson.com or GlobalFinancialImpact.com. That's the way to find me. And we'd love to help some of you guys out.
Absolutely. And when you find them, tell them that Ron and Hope Unfiltered sent you,
There
that
you
you
go.
heard it here, because we want your life to be great. We want you to be able to go out to eat. We want you to be able to pay for your kids to go to college. We want you to go on vacations and be able to have a nest egg to go buy that house you want or a new car,
Take that
whatever
trip
it
to that
is.
nation
Yes.
you always wanted to go to.
Absolutely. We want that for you.
Now, let me tell you this, going back from head to heart before we sign off here. I had this, he's going to talk to all of them. I'm going to open it up for him to talk to the pastors in the network. But he talked to my staff here on the East Coast today and basically said, you know what, if you got any of you guys are interested after he got through telling them kind of what he does and how he helped us, I said, if any of you guys are interested, he's going to be hanging around for questions. I look back in that room and you were swamped.
Look like
You
an
were
altar
swamped.
call.
You got some good people in there. You got
Yes,
some
they
good
are
people.
great people in that room. And you know what? I want them to know, and I'll do this without crying, that I care about that part of that. I don't care that they just provide a service and get a paycheck.
Right.
I want them to know I care about you. I care that your kids go to college.
Yeah.
I care that you own a house. I care that you're financially secure. I care that if there's a place your wife wants you to take her, you got the money in your pocket to go. Those things mean a lot to me. I don't want you to drive the car that's broken down on the side of the road. I want you to drive one where your wife gets in it and you know she's safe. I want you to live that way. And I believe God would have us live that way. And so I appreciate the fact that you've come and opened our eyes just a glimpse. It's a big world. There's
It
a lot
is.
more to know.
There's so much to
But
learn.
maybe you have made someone hungry.
Yeah.
I tell people when I preach, I don't think my job is to feed you. I think my job is to make you hungry. So maybe this half hour or so has said, you know what? There's some changes I need to make. I had 2 of my staff members who are my age catch me in the hallway and say, we got to do something right now.
Yeah.
And I said, that's why I brought him here.
Yeah.
I wanted to inspire you to do what you got to do to move the needle forward.
This
Eric,
is very relevant.
yeah, very. Thank you, Eric.
Absolutely.
Eric
Thank you.
Olson, not just a person that is in our church who's a great business owner and very generous, but he's also a friend of ours. And there's 3 people that's helped change our financial future. The third being Eric has come in and just really opened our eyes to a whole new world and a way of handling our business. And I know he can do the same for you.
Guys, I want you to like. I want you to subscribe. I want you to share this
Tell
podcast.
somebody.
Yes, tell somebody. Put it on your Facebook. Share it. Give it to everybody. Be sure to subscribe to Ron Carpenter, subscribe to Hope Carpenter, and to this podcast. We love you so much. Until next time, it's Ron and Hope Unfiltered. Real,
raw, and relevant.
relevant.
We'll see you guys soon.
Let's go from good to great.
That's right.
That's right. That's right.